So before we start marketing on Instagram, we need to know who our target audience is. So who are we speaking to? Who are we trying to reach? And maybe this is something that you feel like you have an awesome hold on. Maybe this is something that you have a pretty good idea of who your target audience is, but it doesn't hurt to refresh. Or maybe this is a question that you're like, I have no idea who my target audience is. Personally, I think this is an awesome question to revisit in my business. I feel like I'm constantly learning about my audience. And so I've found that the easiest way to kind of narrow down who my target audience is to ask myself a list of questions. Number one is, what is the desired action of your target audience? For example, do you want them to follow you on Instagram, visit your website, tag a friend, like spread the word, maybe buy a product? Personally, I would definitely like some interaction, so I would love for them to follow me. I would love for them to spread the word, like tag a friend. So those are probably like the two main things. I'm trying to build brand awareness on Instagram. The second question, what demographic groups are most likely to take this desired action? So for my Instagram, like what is the demographic group? For instance, is it male or female? I think for me, it's a lot of females. So, okay, so I've got female, maybe like location. Well, where do I want them to be? Where do I want to travel? Like, I love being in Los Angeles. I love New York. I love Paris. I love Hawaii. So this is what, my dream audience is. So this is what my target audience is going to be. So it's a female. She's living in either New York, LA, Hawaii, Paris, London, could be like Texas. Is she married, or what's her family status? She could be hopefully engaged, obviously, as a wedding photographer, but I'm also selling my business to people that have fashion brands and to influencers. So I work a lot with influencers. So she, for me, could be married, not married. A person that I want to follow me could definitely be married, because I want her to spread the word to her friends. I want her to say, oh, wedding photography meant the world to me. I wish I would have gone with Jana Williams photography, and she's tagging me and letting her engaged friends know all about me. So for me, they can be married, not married, any of that is great. What's their occupation? The reason that we're asking these questions is because we want to get really specific on who our ideal client is. This is going to help us to tailor our tone and our voice, which is going to make the whole process of marketing ourselves on social media a lot more effective and a lot easier and a lot more fun. So I imagine that, that my target audience is into fashion, that they are into traveling. Maybe they work for like a magazine, or maybe they own their own company. Yeah, I would say like fashion bloggers are, they would go into my target audience. Yeah, like boss ladies. Like, I love like independent women, entrepreneurs. I have a lot of respect for them. So, just if I was gonna like really hone down into it, I would say, oh yeah, she's like in some kind of creative business, or maybe like a health fitness business, or something like that. Here's another big question is, how do they reason, right? And so this is like, oh, what do you mean? Okay, so what I'm asking you is like, what are their interests? What's their lifestyle? What's their behaviors, their values? Are they more type A, more laid back? So I'm gonna kind of go through my answers with you. So my ideal target audience, like when I ask myself what are their interests, I say, photos, like photography is their interest, weddings, fitness, fashion. What's their lifestyle like? Oh, my target audience loves to shop. They love to travel. This is something I wrote down. Maybe your target audience is homebodies. Maybe they watch a lot of TV. Maybe they read. For instance, the whole Bachelor, there's a lot of people that watch that show. I've never seen an episode of it, but I think it's really cool. If you are into that, and if you do like that, then you're on trend. Like, you can post about that, and you'll have something in common with your target audience. So don't be afraid to be like, they love watching The Bachelor, they love the Kardashians, or something like that. I think it's awesome just to be, like something that you would talk about with a friend at lunch. Behaviors. And when I'm talking about behaviors, I'm talking about like their behavior on Instagram. So do you see your target audience buying online? Are they the type of customer that's like buying like straight from Instagram, or do they want to drive home, go to a job, get on their desktop, check out your website, Google your name, look at any reviews? They could even be like contacting ex-brides, like what kind of behaviors does your target audience have? Are they the type of person who is going to book right away? So is she going to click on your link in your bio and email you immediately? Or is she going to do a lot of research, maybe do some screenshots, send you an email that's really, a long email? Like, what is their behavior? Their values. I think this is a really important question. So some questions you could ask yourself are, do they value like long email responses that could take up to 72 hours? Like if you're emailing everybody back like really, really long emails and you would never respond to an inquiry on your phone, so your emails are very like custom, maybe they value that. Or does your target audience value really fast responses? A response like, even if I'm shooting sometimes, if I notice that I have an inquiry, I'll reply and say, hi Lucy, on a shoot right now, thanks so much. I just wanted to let you know I got your email. I'll be returning this, I'll be getting back to you within the next 24 hours. I don't do automated emails. I definitely want it to be more personal. So I personally think that's amazing. Like if I reached out to a photographer and then they got back to me and let me know that they were on a shoot, but they see me, they hear me, they'll be getting back to me as soon as they can. Oh, I think that's kind of cool. It makes me feel like I sort of know what they're up to. Are they like type A? Are they laid back? This kind of touches on what I talked about, like, do they understand if it takes 72 hours to reply to an email, or are they moving on after 24 hours? I think my target audience probably moves on. Like, I feel like my audience, and the reason I say this is that I have been doing this for a long time. This will be my 9th year in wedding photography, and I feel like the brides that I work with are super soulful, amazing, but they are a little high maintenance. They want to know that I see them, that I hear them, that they are important to me, and they're not going to wait 72 hours for a reply. But you can teach your audience. You can teach your target audience, or you can choose your target audience, and you can sort of tailor that to what makes you happy. A huge question. We're on question number 4. You should be writing these down, by the way. What needs or challenges do they have? So what I'm asking you is like, what problem are you solving for them? So for me, the questions that my target audience, what they're Googling on, or looking up, or hashtagging on Instagram, is they're asking questions about a photographer for their wedding. They're looking for a photographer for their wedding. They're looking for tips on how to take better photos. They're looking for fitness tips. And I even want to get a little bit more specific, okay? So instead of saying like, oh yeah, my target audience is looking for a wedding photographer, what if you got more specific? Say that you are a very like adventurous wedding photographer, or a wedding photographer that understands different cultures and speaks different languages. That's really specific. So then your target audience would be like, my target audience is looking for a wedding photographer that speaks Chinese. Oh wow, that's super specific. That's amazing. Instead of just saying tips on how to take better photos, to get even more specific, you would say tips to take better photos on their iPhone. Wow, this is great. These are like keywords. These are hashtags that you're putting into Instagram so people can find you a lot easier. This is you and I together getting really specific on who our target audience is. And the last one I put was like fitness tips. So then for me, instead of just saying fitness tips, I'm saying, fitness tips for the busy girl. Wow, it's, you know, just the more, you see how that gets, it gets so much more specific. So think of it in that term. Again, I'm just encouraging you to be super specific. So here we are at question number 5. Again, hopefully you're writing these down. So how does your service or product help your target audience? Something to really think about. So how does your product, how does what you do help your target audience? So for me, if you're looking for a wedding photographer to capture your wedding day, to ensure that these memories are forever passed down as a family heirloom, problem solved. I gotcha. Maybe you're looking for an experienced fashion photographer to shoot your 2018 spring collection. I gotcha. Problem solved. Looking for a photographer to preserve the memory of your pregnancy. Like, problem solved. I don't do maternity that often, but if you're a photographer and you're out there doing headshots or maternities, think about the problem that you're solving. And it's more than just people want pictures. Oh, it's more than that. I mean, people want to preserve these memories for a lifetime. These are heirlooms. It's big. You're like a part of their life. So you're solving a problem. I hope this makes sense. I would even go a little deeper, and I would say that you're a photographer and you just have this like awesome knack for making people laugh. Maybe there's brides out there, I'm positive that there are brides out there that are like, oh, I just can't be myself in front of the camera. Well, you know what? If you have that special gift, and if you're like, you know what? I bet there's brides out there that are looking for a photographer that can make them laugh. Then I hope that you're marketing yourself that way. Marketing yourself as the photographer that makes you laugh in front of the camera, makes you forget that you're getting your picture taken. Like, you know, these things are really great if you have that talent. That's amazing. I'm not a jokester in front of the camera. I feel like I'm really good at posing my clients, but not so much at telling jokes. But if you are, awesome. So we have moved on to number 6. So what pushes your target audience to buy your product or to book your services? So in my experience, I feel like this is an amazing question to ask your past clients. So we have a questionnaire that you can download so that you can send this questionnaire to your past clients, and you can really get the information, like, what do they say, from the horse's mouth, you know? Like, it's real info. I just wanted to paint like a picture for you, like as an example. So say that I am a woman who is pregnant, and I'm looking for someone to capture this like amazing time in my life. So say that I've narrowed it down to 2 photographers, and I like them both equally. Like their work, both of them have beautiful work, both of them seem really, really nice. But I noticed that one of the photographers has a baby that's like 6 months old. You know, I'm probably gonna go with the photographer that has the 6-month-old, simply because I could imagine us talking about children and their kids and the experience and childbirth, and for whatever reason, I would just feel a little bit more drawn to that photographer who has a 6-month-old. And here we are as photographers, and we have no idea that like that cute picture of our 6-month-old just booked us that job. So it's really, really something. It's very, very valuable to ask your clients why they chose you. It's really easy to do that through a questionnaire. So be sure to download the questionnaire and use it. It's very, very valuable. So I'm going to move on to question number 7. So how can you be seen by your target audience? The question to ask yourself is, are they looking through hashtags on Instagram? I definitely think that my target audience looks through hashtags, for sure. Who are they following on Instagram? So this is a really great question. So when you think about your target audience and your ideal clients, who do they follow on Instagram? What brands? You know, like what blogs? What online resources are they following? So that you could also follow those online resources, so that you have something to talk about when you finally get your meeting with your ideal bride, or when you're commenting or engaging with the same brands that your target audience is. Then you know that maybe they're going to see your name over and over again. So you're asking yourself, like, what are their favorite brands? Who are they following? Specifically for me, like, what is their favorite fashion blogs, fashion bloggers? What's their favorite wedding blogs? Who's their favorite wedding dress designers? I want to make sure I'm following all of these people so that, you know, I'm going to be in that same circle with my ideal clients. So we'll move on to question number 8. Why would they not use your product or service? Like, what would make them not book you? This is an awesome question for your business. These questions are something that you can think of and really spend some time on, because they really like reveal things and make you think. So for me, I thought to myself, like, you know, some of the obstacles, like, I could think of a few reasons someone would not book me. Maybe because I'm not located near them. Well, are you willing to travel? Heck yeah. Well, then I better make sure that my audience knows I'm willing to travel, right? Do I not speak their language? Well, have I ever had an interpreter there, or have I ever shot a couple that I didn't speak their language? Yes, I have. So I better make sure my audience knows that. Budget. So budget is obviously a huge one. So, you know, something to do here is like, maybe do you have specials like that are close to the holidays, or do you give discounts for weekday weddings, that kind of thing? And if you do, again, you just want to make sure that your audience knows this. It's somewhere they can find it. It's on your blog, or you're posting these specials on Instagram. So answering these questions is going to provide you like a clear vision for your target audience, and it'll help you get more specific about who you're speaking to, so your message can be more tailored. It's kind of a lot, and you can rewatch this video, but it's super essential before moving on to the next video, figuring out who your target audience is.